Welcome to KSDL 1 year anniversary! Our first episode aired in 27 June 2022.
So that makes it 1 year anniversary for us. Time really flies,
Yeah, it does It does. Like, it felt like a few months ago only that we aired our first episode.
Yeah,
Don't
I
you
know. I think so too. Hey, we should have a birthday cake.
We can go out for a celebration after this lah.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Next time we can hold a bigger celebration with listeners.
Oh, that's nice. I've heard of this one other local podcast. They have it, but that was for Hari Raya, a small gathering, and then they even have a walk to the nature park with their listeners. But I think because they are already quite established, like I think they've been going on for like 2 years. Yeah, so they have active listeners going.
I do think like you need a sort of
Following. Yes.
for you to do that, because when I imagine us doing, let's say, like a celebration meal, right?
Yeah.
Then I would totally imagine the two of us sitting there. Then like
Maybe just one of your friend. Maybe just kid coming.
like, oh, someone is approaching. Oh, sorry, it's the barista serving our coffee.
Yeah. Or maybe someone coming. Here's your bill.
For now, we will just go on our
Date.
couple dates.
As usual.
Yeah, 1 year anniversary. We thought it would be nice for us to, just to make a special episode. This is the 15th episode.
Oh, a nice number.
Yeah.
Just realizing that everything is aligned nicely. First anniversary, 15th episode.
Yeah. And you know what that means?
And it's in the
also?
mid-year.
It's the mid-year, yeah.
June,
You
yeah.
are like Ryan Higa. You know
Why?
Ryan Higa? Like, he has those dramas where this detective will go and like randomly connect all the things. Like, he will force things to be connected.
Okay. I have a tendency to do that actually.
Like, just try to find points of connection and say, oh yeah, everything makes sense now. Everything falls right into place. Honestly, my personal thoughts around this is like, I really wouldn't have thought that we have come to this stage. Yeah, because thinking back, even in 2021,
That
was
means like
when
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, is when I wrote in my Discord status that I'm trying out like podcasts. But I bought the mic, and then it has been sitting on my table collecting dust
For 2 years.
for around 2 years. So I tried to record once
By yourself.
by myself. Then I was like, I cannot do this. I feel extremely awkward about this.
Hey, but some people actually thrive at doing solo podcasts.
Yes.
I've heard of that, like, but not really design related, other topics. Like the way they say, the way they do the storytelling is very good.
But I think for us, right now this relationship seems to be doing well, at least for my side. I'm not sure about you. What do you think, Adila?
It's one-sided. No lah.
I knew it! Oh my god, this is a breakup episode. Can you imagine? Wow, episode 15.
Yeah, so for me, I think I shared it before, but when it was on the Figma Discord server, I think they were discussing about podcasting, and then I just decided to just candidly say, oh yeah, I did have intentions to start a podcast, but haven't decided what topic. I wish I want to have a co-host because I don't think I can do it alone. And then just nice, right? Zoe saw your status, and she saw my message, and she linked the two together.
That's where you get KSDL as a baby.
Yes.
It's a coming together lah. Like, it really shows the power of teamwork. Right?
Correct.
The accountability lah that we put on each other keeps us going as well. I don't think I would have gone this far, 15 episodes and counting.
Actually, I
without
agree. If to tell you the truth, sometimes there have been times that I'll feel very motivated, and then later when we have a bit of a break, then I was like, oh no, I have to start back the engine again.
Same I actually do have that feeling also.
Yeah. So because of the accountability, because we're in it together, right? So sometimes when maybe Shuen is not in 100%, maybe she's in the 25%, maybe I'm in the 80%, then I will be the one covering in or like pushing us on. Then maybe some months or some weeks, I'm at 25%, but Shuen is like, she's doing okay. She's maybe on a 60, 70. Then I have to tap on her.
Why my okay is only 60, 70?
Okay, maybe yours 100 lah, 100 lah. Just an example.
Just kidding. Sensi.
You are. Relationship problems.
Starting to see cracks already
Yes.
after 1 year.
So I guess, we never say it lah, but I guess we can sort of sense it already, and then we sort of just be mindful of each other's needs, and then just check in, like, how are you, what's going on in your life.
Yeah. Agree. Like there's this like natural oil to lubricate us, right? As a system lah, the two of us like gears running.
Yeah.
Then when you
even
have
even better if in that month, right, both of us are in 100% mode.
Wow.
Then suddenly
the ting tong damn fast. Wow.
Then suddenly
Super lubricated.
if you know us, we will be like recording 2 episodes back to back. We suddenly so motivated to do a lot of things.
Yeah, so those months with 2 episodes is where we are super motivated.
Yeah.
Like we feel like the world needs us, man. The world needs our voice. No lah, just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, we thought that it would be nice for us to, dedicate an episode for us to just look back, share some of our retrospective points of this podcast. And then another part is for us to just, share, what's our hopes and dreams lah for KSDL also.
Yeah.
How about we start from us looking back?
At some stats, maybe.
Yeah, let's look at some data points.
So far we number of episodes we have is 14, which I think is good job to us.
Good job.
I think if it were to be just me alone, I'll just have 3 episodes.
First episode is hello, test. Can you hear me?
Second is, oh hi, I'm hype up. This is what I'm gonna do. And then after that, some break, but very long. Then third episode, like, hi, I'm still here.
I thought third episode is, hi guys, I decided to stop doing this.
That's you lah. Okay, back to this. So, some of the countries that we reached, other than Singapore, of course, is like US, Spain, Malaysia, and UK. I find Spain a bit interesting. I never thought of it. I mean, US makes sense. Malaysia, yes. UK, okay, not bad.
UK, okay.
UK, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when I saw Spain. Like, oh, hi, people from Spain.
Yeah, hello. Anyway, hi to everyone else who listen to us out of Singapore. Like, my take on this, right, is either we do get outreach from these countries, or maybe because revenge traveling, right?
Revenge traveling, that's such a thing?
Yeah, like basically COVID ma.
Oh,
and then we kind of restricted from traveling, and then now all the borders have opened, and it's just so easy to travel back again. So everyone is traveling. So my other hypothesis is that these people they are still Singaporeans, but then maybe they were traveling, so they end up listening in that traveling country.
That's correct. Yeah, I would think so as well.
But I'm not sure because we do have a good size of people from the States, Spain, Malaysia, and UK.
Yeah.
So even deducting these people, Singaporeans who are traveling over to these countries, they could be locals lah, who is also listening over there. But would be interested to know, how do you even know about Kiasu Design Life?
Yeah, and what do you guys think about us? I mean, especially with all the Singaporean lingo slang that we use. Can you guys really understand? I hope you do. So just I don't know, reach to us in from Instagram or whatnot, and then we would love to get to know you more.
Yeah, let us know. We are really curious about it.
Yeah. So other than that, we also explored different types of episodes. I think we mentioned in our first episode we are going to be quite experimental. So we've been experimenting for 1 year. It seems.
Yes.
We have came up with eventually 4 types of episodes. So the first type episode was interview. I think we only have 1 interview, which was with Kiat.
I guess what was really most memorable is the kind of unknown relationship that was being built up over the years, or the kind of impact that was being done where you thought you were just running events, bring speaker, people sit down there, listen or interact with one another, but maybe there was some magic that was happening within them that you don't know of, that impacted them in their choice of career And then suddenly getting that kind of feedback. Oh, thanks to your event, or thanks to your meetups, I got to know this, I got to do this, I got to know someone. I think that was the greatest takeaway.
That's nice. So when you got that reaction, what was your first reaction?
I was like, no lah, like all,
Shy lah.
like
Humble.
like all Asian humble. Oh no, it's okay,
Interestingly, that was also the first in-person recording.
Yes. Yeah. First time we met in person.
Then after that we also had a survey and share our episode. So what we did was we came up with a question, and then we decided to survey you guys, and then also we survey our own connections and friends, and then we shared the insights. That one required a bit more work. And
that required a lot of work on our side. Because it's like executing a research already. You know, we have to strategize the questionnaire, then publicize it, then wait for a response, synthesize.
It's like doing work.
It's like doing work eh.
The big question, now that restrictions are lifted, would you get back to networking? What's changed in designers' mindset towards local meetups?
So the first question we ask is, now that social restrictions is lifted, are you ready to join in-person meetup? And in your opinion, what makes a A+ meetup?
Yeah. We got how many people so far? 30? Yeah, we got 30 people. So Xuan and I, we actually gathered the insights, and we actually group it into 5 different areas. So first is agenda, second is speaker content, third is food, fourth is venue space, and lastly is crowd. If I can start.
But actually, I quite like it, to be honest. Yeah, I like that we are tapping on, the general public and really hearing from what other people are saying. I do remember having fun just reading through.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
I remember at that period, I was waking up every morning, right? Like, first thing I do is to go to the survey results page and see if we have new submissions lah. Then like read through, because it's very qualitative.
I guess it will be similar to, like, for example, if we were to release a YouTube video and then you have comments coming in, then you definitely get excited seeing people commenting on your YouTube video. Yeah, it works both ways lah. People also feel that they are being heard, and then they can give their perspective to us, and we can broadcast it to the masses. The third type is our typical episode, like how we are doing right now, discussions between us. So far you guys have seen the different topics that we've covered, right? So some of it was a bit generic, like for example, maybe covering design mentorships, but maybe more specific for SG. And then from these discussions, we decided, hey, why not we splinter it off and split it into a smaller, more focused, not really a discussion, more focused, like bullet point kind of episode. And that's where we sort of got chili padi episodes.
Bullet point is a nice way of saying.
Yeah, like pack a punch. Yeah. So it's like, if let's say you don't have 1 hour to listen to us babble and just ramble on, but you just want like the specific information, all the insights that you need, chili padi works for that. Yeah.
If you don't have time to listen to KSDL, right, for 1 hour, then I would implore you to reconsider your priorities in life.
What?
Obviously, KSDL is like the first thing you need to do if you have that 1 hour. Just saying. So after some of the stats, maybe we can share both our favorite episodes.
And
but
the
before
best
that,
performing.
Yes. Before that, what's the crowd's favorite episode?
Drum roll. What do you guys think?
5 seconds to think.
Okay, so according to Simplecast, Spotify, Apple Podcast stats, the best performing episode is actually the MRT episode.
Woohoo!
That's the episode number 6 or 7, right?
Yeah.
So basically, we stumbled upon this article by Channel News Asia, CNA, on sign redesign in MRTs and user experience design.
What the article was stating is that cognitive load is something that the LTA kind of acknowledged. And they aim to improve this issue as part of the introduction for the Thomson East Coast Line.
So for some of you guys who are maybe new to this term called cognitive load, it actually refers to the user's mental strain when they have to think too much to get something done. As we were moving along doing our recordings, we did receive feedback. Usually after every episode, we will ask for any feedback or any sharings that you guys want to have. Just DM us directly.
we always consider the feedback that we get. And we try to see like how can we pivot early so that KSDL is as beneficial lah.
Yeah, I think you received feedback saying that I wish it was more localized, and then we decided, hey, let's look into our content and then maybe try to consider really just focus on a local thing, and then bringing in UX design thinking into it, critical thinking into it, and and just like giving our thoughts into it lah. And then we saw that, hey, there's this article about the MRT with the UX design thing, and then we decided, hey, let's try and talk about it. I think this is the episode which is my favorite episode because it's something niche and it's very relevant, which I think that's what people felt. And then also at least we double down on the localized content direction that we really want to go for, and it seems like when we tried this direction, it was clear as day that okay, this is the right way for us to go lah. I think that episode really blew up in terms of like the positive feedback after that.
Yeah. I mean, this is a sign that we need to stay on track.
Xuan and
But
her puns.
But yes, agree. I do think that we can continue on with
And
this.
the episode was that there's a lot of puns, right? Yeah, there was.
I'm not sure if like attributed to the positive.
No, but
okay,
I remember speaking about Dobby God, and then you were saying, yeah, I got to Dobby God, and then I didn't even realize my phrasing back then, and then you were like, oh, so you got to Dobby
No, you were
God.
saying Dobby God is so big. It's so big.
Oh,
you,
okay.
you accidentally say Dobby God is so big.
And there was one more, I can't remember right now, but there was one
the
more.
can't reach one.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, because I was saying about going to Kent Reach, and then
Then I was like, oh, did you reach Can't reach? Yeah.
so that's my favorite. So what's your favorite episode?
My favorite episode is the 445.5
UX era.
dollar UX era.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So the article is actually about a 板面 store in Admiralty.
Apparently, a customer who is an elderly had paid $450 for a $4.50 bowl of ban mian.
I think the conclusion of our research is because the mental model is different. What is mental model and why is it important for us?
So basically, mental model is an explanation of someone's thought process about how something works in the real world.
So that is the episode that came after the MRT one. If we discount the Chili Party episodes lah.
Yep.
So that is when we kind of like stay on track with the localized and with the localized content. So that is one other area that we realized that, hey, let's talk about that, right? Because it's based on local happenings. Yeah. And then this combined with us analyzing the whole situation with our design critique lah. And we even like explored like, okay, moving forward, what's the best way to do it? So to me, like, okay, my other choice is the MRT one. But why I think this takes the cake, right, is because this is original content.
Yes.
We really came up with our own content and our own analysis around this whole thing. Whereas MRT is a bit like our reaction towards the what's being reported in an article, and we supplement with our own lah.
Yeah. I think I get what you mean, because I remember the UX era episode. We at the end of the near the end of the episode, we actually mentioned about certain things that is design related about the left to right.
Yeah, the mental models.
The mental models.
So we were able to map an issue that is very localized into like design concepts. I'm hoping in the future we are able to come up with more of such original content.
Yes, actually I learned a lot during the episode. I think likewise from your feedback from some of your friends, right? They were saying that they wasn't aware about these mental models.
Yeah. It's something that touches our everyday lives. A lot of us rely on, this kind of mobile payments.
And now when I make payment, especially if I download a new app, it's a bike rental app. And then they ask me to key in the amount that I want to top up. Then I'm like, okay, should I go left to right or right to left?
Then you go like, this one costs mental model.
Yeah.
So I think that is our podcast doing its part already. Like it's able to kind of impact the listeners in their everyday lives. To me, even everyday lives is a bit stretching it already.
Yeah.
Like if it's able to like inform the listeners in some way or another, right? Like I will feel very warm inside.
Aww.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, I'm hoping that we will have more of such episodes in the future. Like different kinds of rubbish bins in Singapore.
No, I think there was
Oh.
one we wanted to talk about the different toilets in Singapore.
Yes, this was in our backlog. Yes.
Yeah. Was it you or was it me who shared about this guy? He's the founder of a toilet
Oh, yeah, you
company,
shared.
and then he would go into the toilets, and then he would be like, when people go to the toilet, they do their business. When I go to the toilet, I'm just observing.
It's my business.
Yes. Then he will observe like, what do people do? They go how long? Do they
Yeah.
flush? Do they know where to find the tissue paper? And I'm like, wow, this uncle really, he's actually doing UX.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the thing I like about our direction lor. Although is UI, although we say is both of us are product designers, right? But our content is not restricted to just digital product
Yes,
design.
precisely. Yeah,
we
correct.
kind of like expand it out and we talk about the principles that is not confined within just digital product design. We can talk about it, but we kind of let loose the constraint. Yeah, and then we just talk about anything that at least is beneficial. It's more anchored on benefit than like more anchored on whether it relates to our professional or not. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next
Right.
we are gonna move on to what do we both like about KSDL. I think one thing that we really both agreed on was that the fact that KSDL is a bit like a casual, light-hearted banter between two friends, but it's still insightful. So it's not like just in Malay they call it like kosong conversations. We are not just bantering with useless talk, which is kosong. Yeah, meaning what we sound like we are just bantering, but actually it's insightful. You get what I mean? Yeah.
It's like the prata looks like kosong, but when you
Open
cut it,
inside got egg.
yeah, it's like got two eggs.
Two eggs.
Wow.
I always hear this from new listeners that they say that it feels like you are eavesdropping to a geeky convo in a cafe. Okay, without the cafe sounds lah. I guess you can edit in.
Maybe next time we can do it in a cafe. Why not?
Oh, yeah?
Explore.
Okay, so next point, basically we both agreed also that we are quite persistent in the audio quality of our shows. So
Yeah. We want to go for very crisp, well curated podcast rather than just plonking the whole recording in without any sort of editing. Yeah. I think our persistence in this space is we also want to use audio as sort of a storytelling tool. Right? We do believe in spending a lot more effort and time. And honestly, it takes a lot of time to really run through the whole episode and deciding where you want to splice the audio pieces around, right? So that we tell the best story and it transitions across different topics nicely, right?
yeah.
Like this takes up a lot of time. Yeah,
I
but-
admire Xuan for doing that. We ever thought of thinking maybe we split the work. Maybe I will edit half of the episode and she'll edit the next half. And I'm like thinking, no, that's impossible. I mean, it's not easy to.
It's not. Like I think it shows, right? Like we do receive a lot of feedback from listeners as well. Even in the first episode, they're like, "Wow, your sound very high quality." You know, so that's something that we already realized. Hey, listeners do pick this out. Yeah, so why not just focus more lah on this whole audio experience?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, another thing that we like about KSDL is it's probably like anchored in local contexts.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me personally, when I listen to a local podcast, which I was inspired by, I really like it because I can like relate to it. I can laugh along with it, and that made me think, hey, if only this design podcast that I'm listening, it's something that it's similar to that.
One thing I really like about us when we are planning episodes is we will always ask ourselves like, how does this apply to Singapore or Singapore designers? Yeah, like something to be a bit more focused.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that I really like. I feel like we kind of find a good niche.
It would help for not just Singaporean designers, but maybe even international designers who are interested to work here in Singapore.
Yeah.
And maybe they want to familiarize themselves with the context of working here, and then how's the practice here, how's the culture like here, and how we speak here.
Yeah, if we flip this another way, right? Like, I do find myself super interested when someone was talking about how they design an earthquake detecting app in Korea.
Oh,
So it's something
nice.
that I can't relate, but it's so localized to the other country that I am intrigued enough to want to know about it.
Yeah.
So I think our podcast kind of serves that also lah, like a periscope to the Singapore life. How is it like here?
Yes. That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah,
I really like that. Yeah. I think I've ever heard of similar topics like that. Oh, I think one example was like how in US how they design the maps for their subway.
Oh, yeah. The New York subway system.
Yes. I think I've watched that before. I mean, yeah, it's of course not related to me, but knowing that it's localized there, it was interesting for me to learn.
Yeah.
Right.
It gives you a point of reference as well. Like, it can help you to compare lor.
Oh, and also, I just remembered the example, 99% invisible. They talk about how the world is handling trash, and then they sort of say about certain problems that we are facing, and then land reclamation is having a problem because there's too much trash, and then how some countries are denying access to their land to put trash in. But the more developed countries, they will send their trash over to other lesser developed countries, and then these lesser developed countries have to hold their trash for them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay.
near the end of the episode, I still remember they were saying, I think it was in Taiwan, if I'm not mistaken. They have this way where you handle your own trash.
Yes.
Right.
If you go Taiwan, you won't see a lot of public trash cans.
It's in the episode they were saying, when you go to the different maybe apartment houses, a van will come, have the
yes.
bell coming in, and then everybody just come up with their own trashes, and then they start to throw their trash into the van. I'm like, wow, so systematic, so nice. Yeah. Then they even say that because of the fact there's no trash bins outside, so if you do have trash on hand, you have to actually hold it with you throughout your day, and then you go home, you put it in your own trash.
Yes.
Which is like,
Yes.
wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. Actually, I posted IGS on my personal Instagram about it before.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
and I
okay,
mentioned
okay.
like that's why bubble tea, there's a lot of the bubble tea carrier.
Like
the
no wonder
cloth
they have
one.
the recyclable
Yeah,
one.
that is where bubble tea carrier makes a lot of sense. Why it's more useful in Taiwan is because like you can't conveniently toss it. Yeah.
The next point we have is two-way relationship with our listeners. Yeah, so we don't just stop at releasing episodes. As you guys know, we always are very open for feedback, and then if maybe you guys want to suggest some ideas or maybe talking points that we can consider, we normally try our best to extend our conversations into Instagram. So if let's say not just for feedback, for example, if you just want to have a simple poll, or maybe we just want to have a survey, just for fun, then we do it on Instagram, and then we gather insights from there. I think there have been I think after the UX error episode, I think one of our listeners that came from the bank actually reached out, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, so actually I got reminded of that episode also. Yeah, which I do think that is the ideal state lah that we would want for all other episodes. Yeah, which is our episode is just to start the conversations, and then it's open for other people to just chime in and share their personal opinions on things. Yeah, which is what happened to that UX episode,
precisely.
which I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, so because of this, we have listeners' contributions. We of course definitely always appreciate.
Okay, so enough of looking back and being retrospective. Let's look into the future.
Yes.
Maybe share our hopes and dreams, what we are excited for KSDL.
Yes, let's put on our future thinking hat, and then think of how we want to grow KSDL to be honest with you guys, right, we have been self-funding our podcast hosting. It's still at a rate where it's manageable for the both of us. But we cannot do this self-funding way long term. We are trying to figure out how we can make the best out of it to basically scale the podcast further, but also trying to find ways how else can we help us in our situation right now.
Yeah, we mentioned we want to be experimental lah. By being experimental while funding out of our own pockets for the past year, I do think this is a good point for us to really sit down and seriously think like, okay, what is our goal? And then work out like what are the different milestones and how then can we measure if we are successful in hitting the milestones and hence reach the goal that we set ourselves out for it lor. I think this is something that we haven't really been in a serious discussion for.
Yep.
And we probably would do that given like this is our 1 year into KSDL already. Suddenly so serious, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that,
It's
it's
like
like,
when the listeners drop off, they're like, what KPI, what matrix success? Enough of this BS.
what growth, what intentional structure.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, this is also like a project that we manage at work lah, right?
A point to that basically because as we mentioned, we were experimenting for a year. So that's why if you see, it wasn't very structured in a way like sometimes it's an interview, sometimes it suddenly has a chili party, then suddenly it was just discussion because we were trying things out, you see.
It's just throwing out and see what sticks, right?
Yes, precisely. And then we even like halfway in our episode, we pivoted a bit, but at least we sort of landed somewhere where we are comfortable with. It feels as if KSDL is having a glow up. Do you think so?
Yeah, reached puberty already.
Within 1 year so fast. Yeah, so
it's one fast growing baby.
yeah.
Actually, I have one more question.
Okay, what is it?
What have you learned in this 1 year?
I learned that I am not good with fine details, but I can to speak on the fly.
So you learned something about yourself.
Yeah, something about myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there is one thing that I had set in mind personally when I was starting out this podcast. Remember? One of our common goal was to actually improve our communication skills. Anyway, yeah. So for me, it was to me when thinking about communication skills, I felt that when I want to come up with a point, I will have to like go back and think a bit more first. I cannot really. I felt I didn't feel confident to just think on the fly and raise a point. But now after doing KSDL with you, I feel more confident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I think for you to do that, you need to have substance lah in your head.
Yeah. You have to have some information beforehand already.
Yeah.
So it goes to show that you still need to read lah. Be well informed anyway. Yeah. How about you?
One big learning is how much time it takes for one episode to be rolled out.
Okay.
Because last time when I was thinking, a podcast, in my head, I'm like, okay, plan half a day. Just type lor, right? Just type some content. Or just like wing it lah. Just press record and record it. And then you edit maybe one day.
Yeah.
And then you roll it out lah and publish it. But it actually takes more than that.
Yeah.
To do it proper. To do it like up to our standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it surprised me lah, like how much time it takes to even just plan the content. Yeah, and to refine content all the way to recording it. And then editing. Editing is the part that to me like really takes up a lot of time. And like we had a lot of back and forth also. Like I will send it to you to show you like V1.
Yeah.
And then you provide feedback. Then we're like, okay, let's try and like do another editing. Then V2. There's a lot of versioning as well lah. So there is one thing that I learned lor. Like it's not as easy as I thought.
I guess you learn to appreciate how other podcasters do it lah.
Yeah. There's really a lot more thinking behind every episode lor. Yeah. So hope this special episode will give a peek of how KSDL came about.
Yep.
What we think of KSDL.
Yes, and how we view the future moving forward. And we really hope to share our hopes and dreams and goals with you guys. So maybe you guys have things to chime in and then maybe we can learn as well.
It has been really, really fun in this 1 year and more years to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much
Yay.
for your support.
Thank you guys for listening to our episode 15 for today. We hope you guys enjoyed our long conversation and also learned a few things along the way. So looking forward to checking with you guys on Instagram, or if you guys want to email us for anything, you can go to Kiasu Design Life on Instagram or kiasudesignlife@gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Till
see ya.
next time. Bye.
Bye.